Hello, how are you? My name's Samantha and this is Flosstube number 3. It is the 2nd of July. I can't believe it's July already. We have just started to get some summer. It's been really weird. I live in the middle of England. I am Scottish, but I live in the middle of England and the weather has been so weird. It was horrible and it was raining and storms and all sorts. And then we had about 3 or 4 days where it was so hot that I couldn't walk the dog during the day. And then it's gone back to being rainy and cold again. And then today, it's just doing everything. It keeps going really dark, so I'm sorry if the lighting goes a bit in and out. The weather's just all over the place at the minute. Walking the dog this morning and I went out and it was bright sunshine and it was really warm. By the time I had finished walking the dog, and the walk's not that long, it's like maybe a 45-minute walk, and by the time I got home it was like overcast and grey and cold. And then I came in and had some lunch and started to eat my lunch and it's bright sunshine again. So currently it's bright sunshine and we have blue skies, but it could change. So my window's there. It could change, you never know. The English weather is just, and all these English people keep saying to me, oh, well, you'll be used to the bad weather. No. In Scotland, we have much more stable weather than they have here. But, see, it's starting to go dark again. Right, so I apologise for any lighting issues. I am trying, but I'm already a day late. I was supposed to record yesterday. I've not had much of a chance to record because I've just been rushed off my feet. I'm looking for a new house and everything's just been like really crazy around that. So I've not had an awful lot of stitch time. I have some stitching, but I don't have an awful lot of stitch time. I'll start off showing you my FFOs from last month. I had these finished. I had the stitching finished on them, but I hadn't finished them. And I just turned them all into pillows. So with this one, with this nice little fabric on the back. And then I had this like, this is, what's it, Sardar. I can't remember the name of the yarn, but it's like a fluffy yarn from Sardar. And I thought that looked really nice. See? And it's literally, you just lay it down and just stitch it on and your stitches disappear into it because it's so fluffy. And I thought that looked really nice with the lion. So we have this one. We have this one I'm probably going to remake as well. We have Little Miss Sunshine that I've turned into just a big pillow. However, this currently sits on my bed. However, I am very tempted to take this apart again and make it into a large tote bag. I think I'm probably going to do that. And then we have the owls, who I've just turned into another pillow. Ooh. So there we go. 3 little FFOs. I have one finish. If I can remember where to put it. I have one finish, which I think I'm probably going to finish just in the hoop like this. I've not done anything in the back yet. I think I'm probably just going to finish it like this though. I'm keeping this one. This is for me. Let me see. This is Hearthstone by Owl. I've got my notes here. Owl and Thread on Etsy. I did this 2/2 on 16 count Ada. I use most of the called for, excuse my nails, I'm sorry. Most of the called for, but I had to sub in a couple of things. But I think it turned out really nice. So I'm very happy with that. If you don't know what Hearthstone is, it's in World of Warcraft. It is a way for you to get back home when you're out in the wilderness. It's a little spell that everybody has, and you just press that and it just teleports you back home again. So this is going to go up in my house somewhere. This is not going to be a shop one. So there we go, we have that one. Other than that, I have, oh, wait a minute, I forgot one of my whips. Wait a second. Okay. I had forgotten one of my whips. So I'll start off showing you that one. This is one of my whips that are in my weekly rotation. This is Totoro. This is a kit that I got off Amazon, eBay, I don't know. And I've explained before, I have a bunch of these kits that I got either in bulk, in bundles that I've, when I bought bundles off eBay, or I just bought them because they were cheap on Amazon and things like that before I realised that these were a bad thing. But I have the kits, so I am going to work through them. I just won't buy any more of them. So this is how far we've got on that. I think last time I just had this grey in. I think since the last time I've done is the start of his little hat, finished off his ear and done his little eye. So he's coming along. This is on 20 count Ada, and it's just using the threads that came in the kit. And it's just plain white Ada. So the light is really being a bit icky now. I'm sorry. Ooh. Right, next up we have the one that replaced the Hearthstone as my bedtime stitch. And let's, oh, it's still in the hoop. Let's pop it out the hoop. This is Dungeon Meowster. And if I can work out how to do it, I'll put a picture up here of what he's going to look like. He is a cat with a D20. I think it's a D20. I'm pretty sure it's a D20. So you can't really see it, but oh, you can there, look. I've done the whole outline and then just started filling in this colour here. It was a lot of counting, so the outline took me quite a bit longer. And this is just like a random bit of 14 count bright yellow Ada that I had. And I was like, why not? So yeah, you'll see in the picture he's just going to be like a little bit kind of patchy tabby-ish. And then we'll have the dice up here. It's going to be very cute. D&D is something that I don't actually play, but I really want to play. But I don't know anybody else that does. Well, I didn't know anybody else that does. I now know somebody who does, but they're not actively playing at the moment. So yeah, it's something that I want to get into. I just need to find some time for it because it's a new thing and I have the books for it. But the books are massive, so I need to read through them before I can start getting involved in playing. So that is I got that pattern on Etsy on White Raven Patterns. It's on 14 count Ada and it's all the called for DMC that I'm using. White Raven Patterns, I think it's a thing that they do as a constant. You buy, I think you buy 5 patterns and you get a percentage off. Because I bought quite a few patterns off them. And the patterns are lovely. They come in, you either get a 1-page spread or you get it split up into 4 pages. I think 4 pages. I think that one comes in. And it's all a very easy to read pattern. So yeah, that's that one. Dungeon Meowster by White Raven Patterns. Next up we have, this is what's on this week's rotation. And it is the bee. That's how much I've got done. It's just really, really hard to see. This is a printed, like this bit's actually filled in. It's just filled in with white. So I'm just working from the bottom and working my way up. This was another kit that I got on Amazon. Another kit I got on Amazon. Again, before I knew bad things were bad. But it's going to be quite nice when it's finished, I think. And it is just nice, easy stitching for that. I haven't actually had, it's Tuesday today. And I didn't have a chance to stitch on it yesterday. Because I was so busy which is why the video also never went up yesterday. So I'm hoping I'm going to get a bit of time in it today, because it's still like folded up like this. The edge for it is quite nice. It's thick, but it's bendy, but it's not too soft. Because you know, sometimes you get fabric and it's like, it's nice to have soft fabric, but sometimes it's too soft and it doesn't really hold the stitches very well. That's what I find anyway. I know some people really like soft fabric, but I'm not the biggest fan. I don't like it too stiff, but I don't like it so it's just like really drapey in my hand as well when I'm trying to stitch. Right, the next one still doesn't really look like anything, but this is my first fancy lady, and I've just done all this section here. This is Xenia by Nora Corbett. I've started to put a little bit of the red in. This is just on some tan coloured, is this 18 count? Yeah, 18 count Ada. And I'm doing it in all the called for DMCs. And it's quite nice, but because there's so much blocks of black in it, that is really bad English. There's so many big blocks of black in it. I'm having to stitch it when I've got really good light in the daytime, so it didn't get as much, nothing has got as much stitching on it as I wanted to this month. It's a bit of a running theme. I've been so busy. So next month should be hopefully better. Although I'm hopefully going to be moving house next month as well. Well, no, this coming month, I'm hopefully going to be moving house. So we'll see how that goes. Right. The last one of my, I think, we're going very quick today. The last one of my rotational stitching is this. Now, you will see we actually have the tops of two birds at last. This thing is cursed. I'm not even kidding. The amount of times I've had to rip out this bird's fine. This bird's lovely. This bird is evil and cursed. So the amount of times I've had to rip out this bird is just not even funny. I think this past month, when I picked it up again, when it came back to its rotation, when I first started stitching on it, I thought last month I had got it to a good point. This month I've gone to pick it up again and found a mistake. And because of it's all like monochrome, if you find a mistake, you have to fix it, because it's not like a pattern that you can just bodge it, you know? Sometimes there's patterns where you can just be like, yeah, and be right. This is not one of those patterns. Everything has to line up. Because it's on lots of pages as well. I can't remember how many pages is in the pattern, but there's lots. So I had to rip it out and redo it and rip it out and redo it. But honestly, the thread held up really well. This is done on, what is this now? This is 28 count even weave, and I'm using DMC 4245, which is this. Is that going to show up? No, maybe try this end. It's like dark blues and purples, variegated, and this is what it looks like when it stitches up. And it's lovely thread, lovely fabric. The pattern, I complain about this all the time. The actual pattern itself is fine. It's the symbol that has been used, because it's crosses and they all merge into each other and make my little eyes go funny. So I'm hoping that's what's accounting for the many times I had to redo this bird. And I'm not kidding, I must have ripped this out 5 or 6 times. And I'm not talking like a couple of stitches, I'm talking like a couple of times I had to rip out the entire bird. A few times I had to rip out this section here, rip out this section here. It's like big chunks that I'm having to rip out, because by the time I'd noticed the mistake, I had already gone too far, and it's when things weren't lining up again. But we are done. We finished the page. And that was my goal for this month, was to get that page finished. So when it comes up in this rotation, which will be in 2 weeks' time, I get to start on a nice new page. It will hopefully be less cursed. And I don't know which side to start. I don't know whether to carry on this side just to see and make sure it actually is going to fit, because I'm going to be cutting it close. Because for whatever reason, I did not center the pattern. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was not restarting it again. So it's going to come all the way down here. It's going to be quite big, but it's going to be lovely. It's going to be very nice. There we go. That's that one. And that is by Cross Stitch Gold Art, who are on Etsy. And so I'm just using DMC 4245 for the whole thing. And that's almost it. We're only at 16 minutes and I've only got one more project left. And that is this one, Alice and Snow White. So this is Alice and Snow White, charted by Haid. The artwork is by Jasmine and Becky Griffiths, who is Strangeling on Instagram. Now, what I was doing with this, as you can see, I'm all over the place. What I was doing with this was colour completing, because the 310 took up about 18% of the pattern. I'm doing this on Pattern Keeper. So the DMC 310 took about 18% of the pattern-ish. So I was just doing colour completing, because we've also got like big chunks here, big chunks of the blue. However, the next colours that I was going on to, it was starting to get a little bit bitty, and see the back is just starting to become a bit of a mess already. So I decided that I am going to do colour completing by page. So that's what we've been doing up here. So I filled in all this up here, all around the side of her face. You might not be able to see it, but there's like a different colour there, and just little bits down here. And I'm just trying to get the page finished at the moment. I have discovered a couple of little counting errors in this kind of section, but it's in the confetti bit, so it doesn't really matter. Just fill it in with, filling it as I go. This is like my first proper big full coverage piece. It's my first Haid. And I think for my next one, because obviously I have like a million Haid patterns, even though I have never stitched one of them. I think for my next one, I'll probably just start off. I mean, I'm guessing most of them don't have like big massive blocks of colour like this. And like, I'm guessing that's not even going to be an option with most of them. From what I've seen, quite a lot of them are very confetti heavy. So I think next time I will probably do what I'm doing now, which is colour completing by page. Because that means that I'm not parking a million threads all the time. Like if I was just doing like a 10 by 10 block or a 10 by 20 or whatever. But it also means I'm not having to do the whole thing and have lots and lots of confetti everywhere. So here we go. I'm meant to be doing 250 stitches on this a day. That's not really been happening. I was doing really, really well for ages, and then I had a little bit of a mental health wobble, and everything just you know, like, if you're one of the people who has the occasional mental health wobble, you will understand that you know, you want to do the thing, you know, you need to do the thing, you've promised yourself you're going to do the thing, and you just can't do the thing. I have ADHD, and it's executive dysfunction. Like, my brain's like, I want to do it, but my body's like, yeah, we are not cooperating. It's weird. It's a strange thing to explain to people who, oh, excuse me. It's a strange thing to explain to people that you want to do the thing, but you just can't. And that's where I've been with that. I've got it sitting, I've got my my Lowry stand sitting right in front of me, and I keep it in my Lowry stand so that I can actually, like, have it in front of my face, because that's another thing with ADHD is what's it called? Object permanence. Sorry, my brain. Object permanence is a thing as well. So if I put stuff away, I don't necessarily remember that it exists until I get reminded about it. So I put it in front of me, so I will remember that it's there to stitch on. But yeah, I haven't been doing it every single day, but I've done the math, and because I want to finish by the end of the year, so because before I had overcooked the numbers a little bit and doing 250 stitches a day, just because I know that I will have days where I can't stitch, either because brain says no, or because I'm busy with something else, or, you know, just whatever, if I've not had time to stitch. So I did overcook it slightly and said I would do 250 stitches a day, and that kept me on track. And then because I had done more than 250 stitches a day on some days, that took out more. So now when I've done the math again, if I stitch 240 something stitches a day, I will have it finished by the end of the year. So the new plan is to stitch 300 stitches a day, just to give me that little bit of a buffer. And then if I feel like it, I can stitch a little bit more. Because that was the other thing as well. Because all my stitches were like all over the place when I was like getting into some of these, it was taking a very, very long time. There was a lot of counting involved. It was taking a long time to actually get some stitches in. So, you know, that was kind of putting me off as well, because I have other things to do. You know, as much as I would love to sit and stitch all day, I run a business. I run 2 businesses. I am a single mom. I have like other stuff to do. I need to like use my time a little bit better. So that's another reason why I've gone to just doing the one page, because it'll be much easier to get my daily stitches in just on that one page than it will be to spend my time counting over the entire piece. That's the theory. That's the plan. We're going to see how it works. Now that I've done my Flosstube for the month, I'm feeling a lot more motivated to get back into it, because I want to have something to show you next month. So this is where we're at. I think the page finishes right where the thread here. That's where the page finishes, and where the thread is here. So we're kind of there. So I'll see how much of the page I can get done by next month. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to do my 250 stitches a day. 300 stitches a day. I've got it written down as 300 stitches a day. It's just my brain still keeps thinking 250. So I will go by what I've written down, and I will do my stitches every day, hopefully. And then next month I will show you some amazing progress. In theory, that is the plan. I also want to get some good progress on some of the other things as well, because I've missed stitching this month. Everything's just been absolutely hectic. So looking for a house is a nightmare. The renting market is awful. everything is so expensive and there are so many people looking for houses. There are not enough houses for everybody. So the houses are coming up, and I think I've applied to go and view 60 something houses, and I've had 3 viewings. Unfortunately, that's just how the market is at the moment. And I have like a massive wide range of places that I could go and move to, because I don't like living where I am now. I live in Wolverhampton, and like, no offence to anybody that lives in Wolverhampton, but I don't like it here. I've never liked it here. I moved here 13 years ago because my ex is from here, and I moved here to live with him. And this is where like the kids were born and stuff like that, but I've never ever liked it here. It's not a nice place to live. I grew up in a little town next to the sea in Scotland, and we are probably about 2.5 hours away from the nearest sea, which is it's a big thing. I mean, and just for little things, like when I'm here, it's been hot, you open the window, nothing happens. In Scotland, you open the window, you get the sea breeze coming in. And it's just like here, you open the window and all you get is the noise from outside. So it's a little pointless. So I would like to move to somewhere that's a little more rural. It's not viable for me to go move back to Scotland. It's not viable for me to go and move somewhere closer to the sea, because the kids still need to see their dad. Because as much as he was a terrible life partner, he's a good dad. So I'm kind of limited as to where I can move in that respect. I've also been trying to buy a car. That's fun. Because I don't know anything about cars, I'm having to like learn as I go, because buying a second-hand car can be a little bit of a minefield, and I don't want to buy a car just have a breakdown in a couple of months. So I'm teaching myself about cars so that I can find a decent one. Oh dear. Right, I think that's me. I think that's everything. Oh, I do have one more thing, and I'll need to put a picture up. I'm joining a SAL for this. I can't remember who's running it now. But it's going to be a new start this week. I'm just waiting on my threads arriving for it. So I'll put a picture up here. It's the Dancing Witches. And yeah, that's actually it now, I think. I mean, there's no point in me telling you more about the SAL because I don't have any of the information for it yet. I just know that I'm going to be starting it. Next month I will have something to actually show you. That's the plan. Right, I'm going to go. I will see you next month. I'm considering doing some more frequent content on this channel, but we shall see. We'll see how that goes. I'm probably going to start doing some sewing content on here as well. And I'll still keep the monthly floss tubes, but I also do want to do some sewing content on here as well, because I like to sew and I like to do project bags. I sell project bags for knitting and crocheting and sewing and cross stitching and all sorts of stuff, and little notions and like little baskets and pin cushions and just general bits and bobs of the house. I like to do patchworking. I like to do English paper piecing. I just like all kinds of fabricy things. I like all kinds of yarny things as well. I've got another channel that has all my, it's mostly crochet, but I do knitting on there as well. And yeah, I just like making stuff. It's fun. So yes, hopefully there'll be some more stuff happening on the channel over the next month. And if not, I will see you on the 1st of August. And I don't know why, but for me, August seems to be the start of Halloween. I'm not sure why, because I know that August is still summer. But that's when it starts to feel a little bit more like we're getting towards the later half of the year. Everything's like really early this year as well. They've already started putting Christmas and Halloween stuff up in the shops and online. And wow, that sun is bright, and I am turning a really weird colour now. And now I am absolutely just waffling. I'm going to go. I will see you on the 1st of August if I do not see you before then. Okay, bye-bye.